the dawn is bright. With every breath we feel your might. Heavenly whispers, sweet and clear, remind us that you're always near. The day's begun, the world's in bloom. A cheerful heart dispels all gloom. We dance in faith, hearts full of grace, feeling your love in every place. The day's begun, the world's in bloom. A cheerful heart dispels all gloom. We dance in faith, hearts full of grace, feeling your love in every place. Hallelujah, praises soar as we adore you more and more. Jazz rhythms play, our spirits sway. In your love we find our way. Your blessings fall like gentle rain, washing away our every pain. With grateful hearts our voices sing, telling the world of the joy you bring. Even in shadows light will shine, a testament to love divine. With every note and every beat, your endless grace makes us complete. Hallelujah, praises soar as we adore you more and more. Jazz rhythms play, our spirits sway. In your love we find our way. Hallelujah, find our way. Hallelujah, find our way. Hallelujah, find our way. All blessings fall, praises soar as we adore you more and more. We adore you. Jazz rhythms play, our spirits sway, our spirits sway. In your love, we find our way.
There are places in the world that feel cold and out of place. There are scenes that make you crumple into sand. There are things still left untold. Some things make you question grace, but don't you let them get life out of hand. In your house I find real peace. In your house we find the least. In your house the weary enter into rest. In your house is true release. In your house is warmth and ease. In your house is where life truly is the best. I can only see the now, and it makes me ask how come life never handed me a silver spoon. Truth is I never bowed, only gave to you my song. Yet you called me out and brought me in your room. In your house I find real peace. In your house I find the least. In your house the weary enter into rest. In your house is true release. In your house is warmth and ease. In your house is where life truly is the best. It is a house not made with hands, not built or forged by man. It is simply only God and God alone. And He welcomes all who come with His arms so full of love. So come and let yourself be undone. In your house I find real peace. In your house we find the least. In your house the weary enter into rest. In your house is true release. In your house is warmth and ease. In your house is where life truly is the best. In your house
Good morning, everybody. Um, it's not going to be super long. I got an appointment at 10, so I want to get all my information out as quickly as possible. So, welcome, and sorry that we're this early. I know it's a half hour earlier than normal, so I don't expect a large showing with this particular live, but later is always good too. So, we have some things to cover. One of those things is the deception that's going on with Miss Owens. Excuse me. And what I mean by that is her using of godly terms and godly approaches, God based, I should say, not godly, um, things of the nature of the type of the statements of God and pushing witchcraft. So we're gonna talk about that. And what do I mean by the witchcraft thing? This concept that she's recently gone into, um, whereas she just mentioned it prior to, like in about 3 months ago is when she first started talking about these dreams thing, um, and people showing up in her dreams to tell her things and to bring things to her mind and to warn her about. Understand that people will listen to what she says and listen to who she says show up in her dreams. I think somehow this is really of God. I just want to issue warnings to those people that you are slowly but surely sinking into a state of believing the doctrine of demons. I just want you to know the dead do not care about the living. They don't. They do not come visit the living to tell them anything. So please stop mixing that nonsense. The dead are surely not doing anything to orchestrate your life either. Just FYI. So, with that being the case, I want you to listen to how much of an emphasis she puts on her dreams, which led her to the place that she is now. And if you believe God, and you somehow believe that Candace believes God, but you also believe that Charlie believed God, then you have some reconciliations in your minds to make when it comes to this. Okay, here we go.
Dream that I had that Charlie was betrayed by
Back this
people
up.
close that me for saying that I had a dream, and I feel as strongly about the dream that I had that Charlie was betrayed by people closest to him. Like nothing could stop Charlie from believing that he was going to die and that I would stand up for him.
I need you to listen to what she just said. Nothing. I'm going to back it up again.
He was going to die. That Charlie was betrayed by people closest to him. Like nothing could stop Charlie from believing that he was going to die.
Nothing. Nothing could make Charlie believe that he wasn't going to die. Now, again, this is for people who hold Charlie to some sort of a godly status, saint-like. You would have to believe then that he never trusted God. You listen to me. I'm not the one saying that Charlie was a complete 100% man of God. I don't know. I had my issues with Charlie's doctrinal stances, and I've made those known here. But if you're one of those that really believe that Charlie is now in heaven, he could not have fully trusted his God, because if you're believing some dream that you're going to die early, and then you say you also trusted God, but was worried about it to the point where you always dreamt about it, you didn't trust God. It would make me believe that Charlie was a lying hypocrite, if that's what you espouse. So when I say you have to reconcile some stuff, you have some stuff to reconcile.
And that I would stand up for him. Nothing you can say, no jokes you can make, no shows you can no right that is going to pull me away from the feeling, the knowing. It is so deep. It is a knowing. It's not even a feeling. It's a knowing. It's not.
The feeling is now the knowing. What is that today? Follow your heart. Follow your heart. It's about how you feel. It's about how you feel. Now, what does the word actually say about the heart and following the heart? Anybody care to tell me what the word says about that, since we're talking about a God-centric idea? Anyone? I'll tell you what it says in Jeremiah. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. And who can know it? I, the Lord, search the heart. I test the mind. Search the heart, test the mind, even to give every man according to his ways, according to the fruit of his doings. Okay. But that's what you should trust, according to this godly woman here. Okay.
Not a dream to me. It's like a prophecy. It's like Charlie was betrayed. I don't know what else to say to you.
It was like a prophecy. You know, when I initially thought that she was going to go along the lines of acting like she has her own religion, I didn't think it would be like this. Yeah.
And I hope I give you guys the permission to believe in something like that. You know, to this whole world, I feel like is designed to make us not believe in ourselves. And I think that's something that Kanye used to say a lot too. Like they want you to follow the crowd. You can't sit with us. We're the cool kids, right? The cool kids all listen to this person. They all wear this color. Oh, the cool kids don't pay any mind when they have a very vivid dream. And Charlie in the dream says he was betrayed. Oh, the cool, that's so, it's not cool. What do you say?
I want y'all to really listen. Please listen. I'm not saying this. She is. She will give you permission to dream like she does. It's odd that she keeps quoting these people that have sexual issues. Don't you find that kind of odd? She keeps being friends with people that have sexual issues. Her best friends are those people. She interviews people with mad sexual issues. She supports people with mad sexual issues. When I referred to her actions as the harlot, got all kinds of backlash. But it kept saying that it was making them drunk on her adulterous ways. Just saying, her words and her affiliations should mean something to people. The company you keep shows you a lot. I'm just telling you. You are friends with some person that has a whole porn website. His wife traipses around the place half naked all the time. I'm just saying, people.
Say that because I had a dream. It was so clear. I promise you can actually fact check this with Village Crazy Lady, my girl Mel, over on X, because I woke my husband up. It was after Ben first attacked me. And I was like, that's weird. I don't know what his investment is in this. And I had another vivid dream. The dream was so vivid. It was like, if you've ever seen Harry Potter.
I remember prophet, God. Now she's having vivid dreams. Make sure it's vivid. Not just any dream, a vivid dream. Vivid is the thing that you need to make sure you keep a track of. It's very vivid, super vivid. One of the most vivid things you'll ever see. Super vivid, awesomely vivid. Then goes on to quote, show you a idea of a witchcraft movie in Harry Potter. Okay.
And like when they have like the chessboard scene and they're having a wizard war, but they're playing a game of chess. It was basically a game of chess, and
You can tell this didn't happen, by the way. This is not true. Like, she's trying to figure what to say next because it didn't happen. This is her looking every which way to try and come up with something. This is a factually didn't happen situation, and she's really trying to sell it as much as she can. So now that she brought up the Harry Potter thing, she can now add what she wants to say to this Harry Potter theme and make you believe that this was a dream. It didn't happen. Like at all.
Ben was one of the pieces. And what I saw in this dream, or how I felt, because there's no words in this.
What I saw in the dream, or what I felt, because there are no words in this. 3 different senses. Nothing to, what I saw in the dream, or what I felt, because there are no words for this. Let me think about this. If you saw it, you wouldn't need words. If you saw it, you wouldn't need to feel. If you didn't see it, then you'd probably need to feel it. If they didn't say anything, then you probably didn't see it either to say anything. But you still wouldn't have to feel it if there were words. But if there weren't words and you did see it, you wouldn't need feelings. Okay.
Is that he was being sent out, and I woke up literally woke my husband up at 4 a.m. in the morning, and I said,
keep track of the times too. 4 a.m. Okay. She woke up at 4 a.m.
I just had a dream that we have to look into the Wilkes brothers. So weird that Ben, the reason he's being sent out is because the Wilkes brothers are freaking out about something. Swear to you, Mel.
Swear to you.
Village Crazy Lady can show you the text. I then woke up and I woke up and I
see, hold on carefully. Listen carefully.
Show you the text. I then woke up.
Remember, she said she woke up at 4 a.m. to tell her husband. Now she's saying she woke up again at a different time to text Mel. But that's not what actually happened, as you'll hear.
I woke up.
I messaged, and then she stopped. Listen.
And I got started, and Mel messaged me, and she said something about the 7 Mountain Mandate, and then she mentioned the Wilkes brothers.
Oh. So the proof that she dreamt it is that she got up at 4 a.m., then she got up at 5 a.m., and she texted, no, she didn't text her. The lady texted her about the Wilkes brothers, and then she told the lady about her dream about the Wilkes brothers. So in order to verify, you're going to see her hear from the lady about something, and she's going to say, I dreamt about that. That's the proof. Again, God is in all of this, she says. Okay.
And I was like, that is so crazy that you are messaging me this, because I had a dream at 4 a.m. They were not on my mind at all.
You had a dream at 4 a.m. or did you get up at 4 a.m.? Did you have the dream at 4 a.m. or did you get up at 4 a.m. to tell your husband about said dream? Remember I told you to keep track of the time. Now, again, the reason I'm pointing this out is twofold. One, she's not telling the truth. But 2, if she is of God, why is she lying? Why would she need to lie about something so simple?
I don't actually really know anything about them. It's not like they've ever been like a part of the Daily Wire operations or anything.
That means she did know about them, and she's trying to make you believe that they weren't part of the daily operations when she was there. But they were, and she knows about them. And she is trying to link them together in whatever theory she has. And the best way to do that is with a dream. That didn't happen. That's what she's saying.
But they do fund PragerU. They do fund Turning. I said Turning Point USA. They do fund PragerU, and they do fund the Daily Wire, and they are not, evangelical Christians.
So do you know about them or don't you know about them? It's kind of odd.
They fund the mega churches. They started Rob McCoy's church. Actually, they funded it. So that was interesting, which is what she was telling me. And I looked into it, and all that's true. Anyways, I know I'm not allowed to talk about my dreams before everyone starts freaking out. But I'm going to still talk about my dreams, especially when they're that vivid. And I have never dreamed more vividly.
Vivid. Make sure it's vivid, super vivid. Just remember, it's all about being vivid. You got to be vivid if you're going to have a dream. Make it vivid. Super vivid, ultra vivid, 4K, 8K vivid. Best vivid ever. Most vivid thing ever. Vividly vivid.
And more precisely than since Charlie Kirk has been assassinated. It's unbelievable. Like it was disturbing me in the weeks after his death, how vivid the dreams were, how I was being woken up from my sleep. I imagine this is exactly what Charlie was going through in 2018 when he was having visions that he was going to die.
Again, I want you to remember that Charlie Kirk espoused that he was a believer. Okay? Remember that Charlie was a believer. That's what everybody that wants to back Charlie says. And if you back Charlie and you believe Candace, there have some problems here. And here's another problem. Therefore, I say to you, do not worry about your life. This is in Matthew, by the way. Now, remember, Charlie was a very supposedly huge reader of the Bible, and he knew the Bible front ways and up ways and back ways. But from the description that she gave, he doesn't know that Moses and David weren't in the same time period. He also did not get the memo that worrying wasn't a thing to do. So there's a lot of things that Charlie didn't know, apparently, about the word. Now, don't worry about your life, what you will eat, what you'll drink, or about your body, what you'll put on. Is not the life more than food, and body more than clothing. Look at the birds of the air; they neither sow nor reap, nor gather into barns, yet the heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not more valuable than they? Which of you, by worrying, can add a cubit to his stature? Do not worry, saying what we gonna eat, what we shall drink, what we gonna wear. These things are what the Gentiles seek. For your heavenly Father knows all the things you need. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. Sufficient is the day in its own trouble. Okay.
That's kind of what's happening to me now about different things that have happened in this investigation, or, things that were happening with Charlie. Anyways, for whatever that's worth.
Okay. First phase. I want you to understand that the dream that she's portraying to you is something that you need to have. Make sure you have them. Enjoy the dreams. They're prophetic. They tell you things. Don't ever not believe your dreams, especially if they're vivid. So let me ask a question again of the people that say they follow God with this. Does God know the beginning from the end? And the end from the beginning? And everything in between? Is that the same? We're on the same page with God? He knows the end from the beginning, and the beginning, he knows all of it, right? He was there from the before time, and he'll be there after time. Nothing happens without his say so. Is that the same? We're on the same page with God, right? I just want to make sure in the audience we're on the same page, right? Okay. And no plan of his can be thwarted, right? I want to make sure we get that right. When Job said it, no plan of yours can be thwarted. Same God. I just want to make sure we have the same God in our heads when you hear what she's about to say. And then you can tell me if the Charlie that you or people out there that support him and all that stuff and think he's, just the best Christian man ever, and you still support her, I want you to try and reconcile what she's about to say about her bestest friend and God and see if it makes any sense to you still.
Everyone in the chat right now saying, yup. It had a cornucopia. I knew you guys were my people. I want to start by saying that the way that I feel, the way that I think a lot of you feel, the vibes that are surrounding us right now is that the deep state is in some sort of a panic, right? We've acknowledged that over and over again on the show. Something doesn't feel quite right. It feels almost like we are at the beginning of the end of a long satanic run.
Is that what the Bible says? Is that what the word says? Again, I'm talking about the people who follow Candace Farmer and really believe that this woman is a believer in God. You say God is on her side. You say God is in everything she's doing. She's doing God's work. You say that. Where is that anywhere? Just if you can explain that to me, answer that question, that'd be amazing.
That's why, just so you guys know, despite the obviously sobering reality that the world is run by these people, I'm pretty optimistic every day. I can't explain it. I don't know why. Things are obviously coming apart, but like things have to come apart before they can be put back together.
She's optimistic. She doesn't know why she's optimistic, though. I thought this was God's platform. If it's God's platform, don't you know how and why you're optimistic? I just curious. Okay.
And they're just getting sloppy. And if I could put it into a sentence, I would say that it's almost as if our awareness is the threat, right? Awareness, just our being conscious of what they are doing, somehow spells their doom.
Now, if I remember correctly, Anton LaVey, the start of the satanic cult, the Satanists, have the same mindset, that your feelings are what really push everything. And your consciousness, awareness. It's that new age spiritual mumbo jumbo guru type of crap that everyone's trying to push. I am conscious. I'm aware. I'm sentient. That's their new thing now. This has become the new wave of spirituality. Get conscious. Get some oobadoo up in your system. Okay.
Which is bringing me to wanting to discuss today, as I promised you, the CIA's Looking Glass Project. Now, we briefly touched upon this at the end of last episode. Obviously, I'm a conspiracy girly, and I'm thrilled that we get to dive a little bit deeper on this topic for those of you that don't know. The first thing that I want to remind you guys is exactly what I said at the top of the show. It is an absolute fact that...
Absolute fact. Now, if it's an absolute fact, if it's not proven, it's a lie. Am I correct? If something is an absolute fact and it's not proven anywhere, cannot be proven, it is still a lie. Just because you call it an absolute fact doesn't make it a fact. Let's remember, it's an absolute fact.
Charlie Kirk thought that he was a time traveler. He told me he was a time traveler repeatedly. I showed you guys that text message exchange. I said to him in response that I didn't feel the same way and that I thought I was from another planet, that I was an alien my entire life. Just do not get it here.
The reason we're doing all of this is because people genuinely believe that this lady follows God. Of all people, God. Now, the person that she says is God, God, God is a time traveler, and she is an alien. Okay.
This planet is ghetto. That's how I feel. I don't understand it. The rules don't make sense. I think that's also why I like cats so much. I feel that they can relate to that. They think humanity is ghetto. They don't want to be around us. They don't like us. They know it's ghetto. It is ghetto here, right? Well, another bizarre fact is
Fact.
that
Okay.
back when Charlie and I were running around, we met in 2017, top of 2018. So I would say, obviously, Turning Point was an organization, but it wasn't the organization. It wasn't this behemoth of an organization that it became. No, he had no real degree of fame. I think that's fair. But he was required to have security on him at all times. That was orchestrated. His security, Schaefer security, was orchestrated by Bill Montgomery. He has since passed, the late Bill Montgomery, and he was from the military. He founded Turning Point USA with Charlie. Charlie wanted to go to West Point, and then instead started Turning Point USA when he was 18 years old. Thinking about that, the security, him texting saying, "I'm not allowed to go anywhere. I feel so important," I think was the exact message. That to me is objectively weird in retrospect.
Again, all of this is to show you something about the nature of the individual people are calling the truth teller, the light in the dark, bringing light, bringing consciousness, the carrier of the truth. God is on her side. She's doing the Lord's work. All those things y'all say about Miss Owens. Okay.
Wasn't weird at the time. It's weird now. And it makes me think that Charlie may have been marked since he was a child. We've discussed these GATE programs that they have in school. And I just think, on the basis of what he told me, that when he was really young, they wanted to drug him, but his mother said no. And he was really grateful for that. And instead, they decided that they could send him to this X-Men school. That's the best way I can describe it. I would certainly, by the way, for you internet sleuths, I'd like to find out which school Charlie had to attend. So he was pulled out of the regular school he was attending, and he had to go to some special school.
You couldn't ask her, Charlie? He was your best friend. You couldn't ask him what school that was? You knew all this, but you couldn't ask him what school. Okay, that makes sense. Sure.
For the gifted, like he was an X-Man. And I am of the opinion, it's an opinion, I'm allowed to have it. It's obviously not a fact, but I am of the opinion.
But you just started the whole diatribe by all of this is fact. You see how the devil works? Put in the minds of the people that this is a fact. The next thing I'm going to say is fact. Then quickly follow it up to protect your legal behind by saying it's just an opinion, just a feeling. But the audience is already convinced that what you're saying is factual. Satan.
Based on the discussions I had with him, that he's been monitored since. That his test scores, whatever the score, every test they probably did on him, he was off the charts, and they wanted to make sure that he was being watched. That's my theory in general on all kids that are in extraordinary and GATE type programs. Maybe we should be training our kids to get like an 85% on the test.
So in other words, train your kids to be stupid. Why? So that mental midgets like Candace Owens can manipulate them better. Don't wish and don't hope that your children are smart. Teach them to downplay their education. Make them dumber. You don't want these programs grabbing your kids. No, you need to make sure your kids are stupid. Hit the lower standard. Dumb them down. I won't have a future audience if your kids are smarter than me. Candace, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much.
At most, before the government agents are going to swoop in and go, who is this genius child, you know? And a lot of weird things used to happen to Charlie.
Here it is.
He would go on runs. I think I told you guys this, after sundown. And when he was running, street lights would go out. Like it was like he was in a burst of energy, like he was a lightning bolt or something.
So now she wants you to believe that Charlie was supernatural. Again, the guy that espoused he is nothing without God is now supernatural and told her that he could run by lights and blow them up with bursts of energy. Okay.
So to slow this down for you, there are just in general all of these inexplicable experiences that we have in life, and they try to make it weird for us to discuss them.
Mm.
Like just even being philosophical and thinking about these things for a long term, for a long time, they don't want that. Deja vu is probably chief among them. We all have experienced deja vu. We are certain something happened, but we already did that, but it didn't actually happen. You're like, but I feel like it did. Oof, I just got a bad case of deja vu. Well, guess what? There's no official expert explanation for that. Sleep paralysis, for those of us who suffer that, I had some terrifying experiences before I knew what it was. They don't really give us a full explanation for that. Similar, also, another example of things that are inexplicable and maybe somehow related to deja vu. The story of how I met my husband. I've told it many times, how I got engaged 18 days later. No one believes me. They don't want to accept it, except maybe Charlie Kirk, because he was there for it.
Again, now the story's changed. Now all of a sudden he's okay with it. Before, she'd tell you that he told her not to. She'll listen to Charlie in a dream after he's dead about being betrayed, but won't listen to him when he was alive when he told her not to marry George. Okay, cool, got it.
But I already knew George. That's how I describe it. I saw his face. I know that doesn't make sense, but it happened that way. I looked at my husband's face and I already knew him. It was like a sigh of relief. And yeah, there's other explicable events and things like Charlie telling me that he was going to die young.
Okay. You know, you know what I told you earlier about the ones that will never listen to what people actually say, but will listen to what they want to hear. Remember I told you about that? I'll show you here. Candace is not saying to downplay. She's saying not to be lured in while luring you in. Candace is trying to help, not hurt or take over. Help what? What exactly is Candace trying to help with? I cannot wait to hear this answer. What is she helping with? Trying to help, not hurt. Help what? Help how? What do you mean by help? What do you mean by help? I doubt you're going to answer, but in case you surprise me and do, what is she helping? Where is the help? Just cannot wait to get that. I want that particular, that man. What? Tell me, what's the help here? We'll see if she answers.
Anyway, today we are going to be showing you clips from a YouTube channel called Be Inspired. We're going to link it in the comments as well, because they did such a fantastic job of diving into these phenomena and how they likely relate to another shady government CIA program, which came to be known as Project Looking Glass.
Now, I'm not going to go into the project of Looking Glass, but hear me out. In this so-called project, they can see and peer into the future and change stuff. Peer into the future and change things. But the timeline started to converge, and all the different timelines that were out there were starting to become one timeline. Around the time that Charlie was starting TPUSA. Now, I want you to understand that they say they stole this from ancient entities, ancient cultures. And the Satanists turn it into a time travel, looking glass kind of thing, so that the Satanists could control the future. Listen to me. The Satanists could control the future. The Satanists controlling the future. So I'm guessing that means everything that the book said about God knowing and controlling, putting people in place where he wants them, that's nonsense. That could never happen. Forget that. That is untrue, never can happen. What? No. You know, I'm 100% convinced at this point that people just want to hear. They simply they just want to hear stuff that makes them feel, I don't know, important enough to say this person gets me. The problem with that is that you trying to find yourself on the same level as God is dangerous. Very dangerous. No, she didn't answer because she's probably not here anymore. Came in, dropped her 5 cents and dipped out like they normally do. They can regurgitate, but they cannot defend the things they say, FYI. Job 40. The Lord answered Job and said, shall the one who contends with the Almighty correct him? He who rebukes God, let him answer it. Job answered the Lord and said, behold, I am vile. What shall I answer you? I lay my hand over my mouth. Once I have spoken, but I will not answer. Yes, twice, but I will proceed no further. Candace, here's a word of advice from Job himself. Shut up. Don't let God's name come out your mouth no more, considering that you don't know him. Okay, just want people to understand that. Okay, all right. Let's continue. The Lord answered Job in the whirlwind and said, now prepare yourself like a man. I will question you, and you shall answer me. Would you indeed annul my judgment? Would you condemn me that you may be justified? Have you an arm like God? Or can you thunder with a voice like his? Then adorn yourself with majesty and splendor, and array yourself with glory and beauty. Disperse the rage of your wrath. Look on everyone who is proud and humble him. Sounds like God's in charge of stuff, doesn't it? Look on everyone who is proud and bring him low. Tread down the wicked in their place. Hide them all together in the dust. Bind their faces in hidden darkness. Then I will confess to you that your own right hand can save you. There is a mad thing taking over today, but it's expected. It's supposed to happen. They will believe a strong delusion, and that's exactly what's happening now. They sincerely are going to start following, listening to the doctrine of demons. They're going to forsake the way. They are going to move into things that they should not be, and they will be convinced that is truth. They will absolutely be convinced that what's going on, all God-based. Following the devil while espousing God. That's what we are in right now. There are going to be, I mean, absolutely thousands of people coming forward to tell you about something related to God that isn't of God. They will tell you about something that God told them that he never told them. They will tell you about something that is going on that isn't going on. At some point, we have to come to grips with something. Here's what we got to come to grips with. One, not everyone that says, Lord, Lord will enter. Two, There are people that will intentionally try to pull you away from your faith. And 3, there are those who know the Lord's voice and will follow. Again, I'm not going to be able to tell everybody to watch out and they'll listen. They won't listen. And that's okay. I don't care if you listen or not. I really don't care if you listen, because the listening of it is up to you. The listening of it is up to you. But I would be remiss if I didn't point out to you the dangers of listening. I would not be doing what I'm supposed to do at minimum, which is at minimum spread the seed. If you don't want it germinating, that is you. But ain't nobody gonna ever say, I never told you. There will be no one capable of saying, you were not warned. That will never be happening over here. If anyone can say anything that about me, it will be that I told y'all to not follow this and to follow the word. And if you still choose that and your end is something you didn't want, you can only blame yourself. Ears to hear, hear. Mind you, this goes for both sides of the equation, both the TPUSA side and Candace's side. Do not forget that the same organization that is promoting God also had entities involved with them that they shouldn't have. Nicki Minaj. Please understand that both are not following the creeds that God put down while still using the name of God. Both are still very dangerous. One is a lot louder than the other, no doubt. One has far more reach right now, which is Candace, no doubt. But please don't get it. Please don't get it twisted. If you somehow believe that one is better than the other because it's less evil than the other. The dead don't talk to nobody. The dead don't orchestrate nothing. I just want you all to understand it, and I wanted to bring this to your attention because it is getting to the point where people are holding, especially Candace, in this space of a herald, a literal prophet. A prophet. A prophet of God who isn't even listening to God. And before too long, they will make her some sort of a modern day Peter or Paul or something. I just find it crazy. I just find it crazy. But like I said, if there's a part of you that sincerely believes what you say believe about Charlie and still believe her, then you have some stuff to work out. A lot of stuff to work out. A lot. Why? I'll tell you why right now. Let me get it for you. The reason I say you need to figure it out is for this reason and this reason only. Because it's a conflict. In James chapter 1, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives all liberally without reproach, and it will be given to him. But let him ask in faith and not doubting. For he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. For let not that man suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. He is double-minded and unstable in all his ways. You want wisdom, you want to know the truth, then maybe ask the only person that can give you that, and it's not Candace. It's God. And he gives it liberally. She's asking you to listen to her and your dreams and your feelings, not God. She is asking you directly to counter what James is telling you right here. Let him ask God in faith. No, instead, she wants you to feel it and listen to her. Get the vibe right. And trust that vibe, that feeling, because the feeling is indeed real. Okay. Anyhow. I had to address that. So it is something that is definitely going to becoming more of an issue later on. However, whoever decides to follow her follows her. Whoever decides to not follow God doesn't follow God. That's up to them, and it's okay. It really is okay, because everyone has to choose. Everyone has to choose. There's appointed one for a man to die, and after that, the judgment. So whatever they decide, they decide. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll let you know what the docs might have said once I go see them about this issue. And love you all, mean it. Savage Patriots will be on today, 6:30 Eastern. I'll catch you then. Wisdom calls to you from the streets. So please, please, please find wisdom.
There are places in the world that feel cold and out of place. There are scenes that make you crumple into sand. There are things still left untold. Some things make you question grace. But don't you let them get life out of hand. In your house I find real peace. In your house we find the least. In your house the weary enter into rest. In your house is true release. In your house is warmth and ease. In your house is where life truly is the best. I can only see the now, and it makes me ask how come life never handed me a silver spoon. Truth is I never bowed, only gave to you my song. Yet you called me out and brought me